everyone, my name is Chloe and welcome to September's In and Out. So if you have not seen one of these videos, this is a video in which I tell you everything that I've hauled for the month and everything that I'm unhauling. So this month I'm a little embarrassed to even call this an In and Out because I'm hauling 21 books and I'm unhauling one. So it's not really even an unhaul, it's pretty much just a haul. So let's just get into it. But as I always tell you guys, I read, so far, I'm filming this on the last day of September, and I have read 9 books off my shelf and 6 books not on my shelf. So I'm still reading more than I'm bringing in, kind of, sort of. Not really at all. But I'm still reading off my shelf. So let's just get into it. The first 5 here I have already read. So the first one is The 12 Dogs of Christmas by Lizzie. This one is so cute. It's about a woman who runs an animal shelter, and she's trying to get these dogs adopted before Christmas, and this guy helps her, and it's just so good. Next is Wish You Were Here by Renee Carlino, and this one is a really good story about a love triangle, but a love triangle done right, and somebody who is, she has a one-night stand, and then many years later, he comes back, and she's with somebody else, and so this one is so good, so emotional. Love Renee Carlino, and love my sweet subscriber, Anita, who sent this to me. Next is Life Interrupted by Priscilla Shearer. This one is navigating the unexpected, and this came to me at the perfect time. It's not the best nonfiction, I would say. It does get a little bit preachy. It is a Christian-based nonfiction about how to navigate the unexpected, and it does get, like I said, a little bit preachy, but it came to me at such a perfect time. I was so grateful for it, and this one came from a subscriber as well, and so this is another one that I hauled that I'll be putting on my shelf. Then the last 2 that I have already read are The Bromance Book Club and Undercover Bromance. And so I love this series so much, and I cannot wait for the 3rd one to come out, and I knew that I wanted to have these on my shelf, so I got the first 2. Now let's get into the ones that I have not read. So, yikes, guys. I have some that were sent to me by authors or publishers. One that was a gift, and then 2 that are from Books for Trade, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and then the last few that I bought myself. So they came from all sorts of different places, and let's just get into it. So I had an author reach out to me for the first time, and you guys, it was like fangirl moment. This woman is a Harlequin author who is so prolific. I think her 100th book comes out in April, so she has written a ton, and she sent me some books, and so I will be reading them at some point and reviewing them, but I figured I would show them to you now. One thing that makes this author so unique is she writes her Harlequin, like I said, but she writes what I would say 4 genres. She does romance books, she does romantic suspense, she does women's fiction, and she does Christmas. And so she seems to do it all. I cannot wait to read these books and share them with you guys because I am so excited about all of them. So that author is Tara Taylor Quinn. So this one is the first one. It's a Harlequin special edition about having the soldier's baby. This guy goes to war, and she thinks he dies, but then he comes back, and I don't know what happens there. Then Her Lost and Found Baby. I think this is about a kidnapped baby. This one kind of teeters into the suspense. It is a special edition. Then The Truth About Comfort Cove. I think this is 2 detectives that get together and try to solve a cold case. And so this one is romantic suspense. This is a super romance. Which, by the way, if you guys don't know about the different categories of Harlequin, go check out, I will link it down below, Sarah from The Bookish Knitter. She did a whole video on what is the category romance, because that was a prompt in the summer fling. And myself, I had read a couple maybe, and I know a lot of people were like, what even is that? And so these are, like I said, category romances. There's super romance and special edition are the ones I've talked about so far. And so she will give you a whole rundown of Harlequin category romances if you're interested. The next one is Hidden also by her. This is not a category romance, so I said that and then whatever, but this is about a woman who runs away from an abusive husband, and she like reinvents herself, and she's hidden, and I don't know what happens, but it sounds so good. And then this one is her venture into women's fiction. So this is the Friendship Pact, and this one, I don't really know a whole lot about it, but it's about two best friends and a pact of some sort. So can't wait to read this. It looks so summery and nice. I might save this for when it gets a little colder, because I am a seasonal reader, but I also love reading like opposite seasons, if that makes sense. So in the winter, I love to read some summery books because it's just like a little piece of summer amidst all the cold. And then in the winter, or in the summer, I like to read some cozy books, as you guys know, with my Christmas in July obsession and my Christmas all the time obsession. So with that comes the next two, which are super romances that are Christmas. So we've got The Holiday Visitor. She, I think, owns a bed and breakfast. So really excited about that. And then this one, Merry Christmas Babies. This one, let's see, she has a ticking biological clock. So looks like a lot of babies there. I don't know what happens, but that makes me nervous. So those were all sent to me by Tara Taylor Quinn herself. And I thank you, thank you, thank you. If you are watching this, I cannot wait to get to these because they all sound great. And I just don't understand how one person can write in 4 genres and do it well. I think that is amazing. And I know many other people have read and love her. And so my excitement is just through the roof on that. These next two are from Forever Publishing. They are so kind, and they were actually the ones that sent me the 12 Dogs of Christmas, and then there's 2 more Christmas ones. We have Christmas on Reindeer Road by Debbie Mason, and this one is the second in a series, and I have not read the first, so you guys know I am going to have to track down the first before I read this, but I think this one is about a woman who has stepsons maybe, and she is like maintaining a relationship despite, I don't know if her and their dad are still together or not, but then the stepsons get in trouble with the law, and so she has, well, no, they're not together obviously, because I think she gets together with the cop maybe, I don't know, but this cover, man, I'm just like living for it. The little scene and the dog and the wreath, I just love it. And then this one is Seasons of Joy by Annie Raines. This one is also just the best cover ever. I love, love, love Christmas covers. And this one is a single dad romance, and I love me some single dad romance. I think he also owns a Christmas tree farm, and it burns. And so this one just sounds so seasonal, so great. So thank you to Forever Publishing for sending those. Now this one is from another wonderful subscriber, and this is things Jolie needs to do before she bites it. And I am keeping like the little Amazon thing in everything that I get sent or anything, because these just mean so much to me. I don't think I would ever forget, but I don't want to. I want to make sure I don't. So this one is from Antonella, and Antonella, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know you crack me up, and I love everything about you, so thank you. This one is by Carrie Winfrey, and she is the author of the Waiting for Tom Hanks series, or duology, or whatever it's going to be. And prior to that, I think she had just written YA. So this one is a YA about a girl who has an underbite, and she can finally have the surgery to repair her underbite, but she is really scared about that, and so it's things she wants to do before she dies, if she dies in surgery. Sounds fun. Then Krista from Books and Jams got me hooked into some Facebook groups that are like swap groups, or you can buy, or like you can sell your stuff, or you can swap it. And I don't know why I have not been involved in that world before, but my golly, it is addicting. So I was on there all the time with my August Unhaul, saying like, here's what I've got, does anybody want it? And so ironically, the person I traded with was Krista. And so she gave me Jelly by Joe Cotterill. Cotterill. This one is a middle grade. I know about a plus size girl. She's the queen of comedy at her school. I've heard really good things. This, like I said, is a middle grade, and it seems to be told in some poetry and all sorts of different things. I cannot wait to read this. I've heard great things. So this, and then also The Wedding Chapel by Rachel Hawk. I have not read this one specifically, but I have read some Rachel Hawk, and I really like her. She is Christian fiction, but I think in a pretty accessible way. So the these two I traded Krista for. I traded her something else. I can't even remember what. So really fun way to get introduced into that group. Then the last 4 are ones that I just bought myself because, actually I bought for my mom because she needed books to read, and so I bought these for her, and now they're mine. So the first is November 9 by Colleen Hoover. She is a big fan of Colleen Hoover, as am I, so I got her this one. I have not read this one, but I've heard wonderful things, and so and she really liked it, so I'm glad to have this one on my shelf. And then we have another Colleen Hoover, Slammed. I can't remember if it was last month or 2 months ago or something. I found the third in this series in a little free library. So this is the first, and she read it and really liked it. And so I got the second one. It's on its way, and then we can read the whole series. And so I'm really excited about that. Colleen Hoover is one of those that I feel like she is so divisive, and people either love her or they hate her, and I really love her. She is actually the author of our book club book for the Book Sisters book club this month. We're reading Verity, and so Sarah is a hater of Colleen Hoover. I am a lover, and Bree has never read anything from her, so that will be a really, really fun live show. Then we have One to Watch. And this one, I think this one's about Kate Stayman London, and this one is about a woman who goes, she's like, I think she's writing, I can't remember, she's a fashion blogger or something, and she writes about the lack of diversity, size diversity, and that kind of stuff in a show that is very similar to The Bachelor, and so then they ask her to be the lead contestant, and she does, and I've heard in general, really good things about this. I've heard a couple people not love it because they don't like the fat representation, but then I've heard other people love the fat representation. So I'm really curious to see what I think myself. I don't watch The Bachelor, but I still am intrigued in this. So really excited for that. And then the last one is Family for Beginners by Sarah Morgan. I really like Sarah Morgan. I feel like she does a great job at women's fiction, and this is one I have not read. And so there's this one. So that's 21 books from all different places. Now, what's the one I'm unhauling, you ask? Let me find it amongst all of these. I am unhauling Naked in Death by J.D. Robb. Now, I want to preface this with saying I did not dislike this book. I read it and I enjoyed it. I think I gave it 3 stars, maybe 3.5. I can see why people love this series because Eve and Rourke are 2 very lovable characters in the sense that, like, you just are instantly attracted and attached to them as characters. And so this series goes 50 some odd books. And the reason I'm unhauling it is because I am the type that it's like, why keep the first one on my shelf if I'm not going to own all 50? And I don't love it enough to own all 50. So I'm going to let this go. It's in like pristine condition. So anybody that wants it and loves the series will hopefully love this book. So again, I liked it. And I will probably continue in the series at some point, but I just don't need to have it on my shelf because I know I'm not going to own all 50. So that is September's in and out, or in and kind of out. If you have read any of these books, let me know what you think. If you have read this series, let me know what you think. I have been told multiple times that you need to read the first 3 to really get like where you want to know and you like need to know. And I can totally see, like, just from the first book, I can totally see that. Like, these are the kind of characters that eventually you get to the point where you're like, I wonder what Eve and Rourke are doing and what they're getting up to. And so I can totally see that. And I know there's a lot of people that really love this series. So if you've read any of the ones I hauled, thank you for watching all of this. Let me know what you think, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful week or weekend or night or day. Whenever you are watching this, I hope you are having a wonderful time. So we'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.